Sarah, you look like something is bothering you today.
Seriously, Liam, I have been thinking about something all week and I cannot get it out of my head.
Tell me.
Okay, so I watch English videos every day. I understand everything. I read articles in English, no problem. I follow conversations between native speakers. I understand films, podcasts, songs. All of it makes sense to me.
That is actually very impressive.
But Liam, the moment someone asks me a question in English, or the moment I need to say something, I freeze. The words disappear. My brain goes completely empty, and I just stand there looking confused.
Ah.
It is the most frustrating feeling in the world. I understand everything, but I can produce nothing. How is that even possible? How can I understand a language but not speak it?
Sarah, what you just described is one of the most common experiences in the entire world of language learning.
Really? It is not just me?
Millions of people feel exactly this way. Millions. And almost nobody explains why it happens or what to do about it.
So why does it happen?
That is exactly what today's lesson is about.
Okay, I need this. My whole English journey depends on understanding this.
No pressure. Let us start from the beginning, from the very root of the problem.
I am ready. Explain everything.
Sarah, I want you to imagine something. Have you ever watched a professional chef on television?
Yes, all the time. I love cooking shows.
You watch them chop vegetables perfectly, make sauces from scratch, build beautiful dishes in 20 minutes. You understand exactly what they are doing.
Yes, I follow every step.
Now, if I put you in that kitchen right now with those ingredients, could you do the same?
Absolutely not. I would create a disaster.
Why not? You understood everything.
Because watching and doing are completely different things.
Exactly. And that is the first truth about English that nobody teaches you. Understanding English and producing English are two completely different skills. They live in different parts of your brain. They're built in different ways. And they improve through completely different types of practice.
So when I watch videos and understand everything, I am only training one skill.
The understanding skill, which we call receptive ability. Your ears and your brain have become very good at receiving language, recognizing words, following meaning, processing grammar automatically.
But my mouth has not trained at all.
Your mouth, your tongue, your breathing, your word retrieval, the whole system that produces spoken language, that is a separate system entirely, and it only improves through one thing.
Speaking.
Sarah, when you watch English videos, how do you feel?
Comfortable, relaxed, confident, actually. I understand everything, so I feel like my English is good.
And when you have to speak English?
Terrified. My heart beats faster, my mind goes blank. I feel like a complete beginner.
That feeling, that terror, has a name.
What is it called?
It is called the comfort trap.
The comfort trap. That sounds exactly right, actually.
When we understand something, it feels like progress. It feels like learning, and it is. But it is only half of learning. The other half is production. And production is uncomfortable. It is scary. It requires you to put yourself out there and risk making mistakes.
And our brains do not like risk.
Our brains hate risk. Our brains love comfort. So we keep choosing the thing that feels good. Watching, listening, reading, and we avoid the thing that feels scary, speaking.
And without realizing it, years go by, and we have done thousands of hours of comfortable learning and almost 0 hours of uncomfortable speaking.
Sarah, that sentence you just said, that is the whole problem in one sentence.
I just described my last 3 years of English learning.
You are not alone. Almost every intermediate English learner lives in this exact trap. They understand a lot, they speak very little, and every time they try to speak, the gap feels so huge that they retreat back into comfortable watching and listening.
And the gap gets bigger.
Every day you do not speak, the gap gets wider because your understanding keeps growing from all the content you consume, but your speaking stays the same.
So the solution is to get uncomfortable.
The solution is to choose discomfort every single day. Not huge, scary discomfort, small, manageable, daily discomfort.
What does that look like in real life?
We will cover the full plan, but first, there's a third reason, and this one surprises most people.
Let's go, Sarah.
Okay, what is the third reason?
Tell me something. When you want to say something in English, what happens in your brain first?
I think of what I want to say in my language. Then I try to translate it into English. Then I say the English version.
And how long does that process take?
Too long. By the time I have translated, the moment has passed. Someone has already moved on. I look slow or confused or rude.
What you are describing is called the translation trap, and it is one of the biggest barriers to fluent English speaking that exists.
Because real conversations do not wait for me to translate.
Real conversations move at full speed. Native speakers do not pause while you search your mental dictionary, and when the pressure is on, your translation system breaks down completely.
That is exactly what happens to me. The pressure shuts everything down.
Because you're asking your brain to do 3 things at the same time. Think of an idea, translate it, and then produce it in correct English grammar, all in real time, under social pressure, while also listening to the other person.
That is too many things at once.
It is impossible. No brain can handle all of that simultaneously, and the result is silence, freezing, or broken, incomplete sentences that do not sound like you at all.
So what is the solution? How do fluent speakers do it?
Fluent speakers do not translate. They think directly in English.
But how? How do you get there?
You get there by building what we call English chunks, ready-made phrases that your brain stores and retrieves instantly without any translation needed.
So instead of building a sentence word by word,
You retrieve a complete phrase as one single unit, like a block. I was thinking about. It depends on. The thing is, to be honest, I'm not sure, but these are not words, they are single units your brain grabs instantly.
Oh, so fluent speech is not word by word, it's chunk by chunk.
Exactly. And when you learn English this way, in phrases and patterns, not individual words, the translation step disappears because you are not building sentences anymore. You are retrieving them.
That explains so much. I learned vocabulary as single words, but single words do not help me build sentences fast enough.
Single words are the ingredients. Chunks are the ready-made meals, and when you are in a real conversation, you need the ready-made meal, not the raw ingredients.
I want to learn those chunks. Can we do that today?
Absolutely. But first, one more reason, the last one, and I think this one will hit you the hardest. Part 4, the perfectionism problem.
Okay, last reason. Tell me.
Sarah, when you speak English, what are you most afraid of?
Making mistakes, saying something wrong, sounding stupid, people judging me.
And because you are afraid of mistakes?
I say nothing. I stay quiet. Or I use only the words I am 100% sure about, which means I can barely say anything interesting.
This is perfectionism, and it is one of the most destructive forces in language learning.
But surely wanting to be correct is a good thing.
In writing, yes, you have time to think, edit, check, revise. But in speaking, perfectionism is the enemy, because speaking requires speed, speaking requires risk, speaking requires throwing words into the air before you are sure they are perfect.
And I cannot do that. I check every word before it leaves my mouth.
So by the time you have approved the word, the moment is gone, the conversation has moved on, and you have said nothing.
Exactly that.
Here's a question for you. Think of a small child learning their first language. Do they check every word before they say it?
No, they just say everything. Wrong words, invented words, complete nonsense sometimes.
And do they feel embarrassed?
never. They just keep going.
And somehow, through all that messy, imperfect, fearless speaking, they become fluent.
Because they never stopped to worry about being wrong.
Mistakes in speaking are not failures. They are the actual mechanism of learning. Every wrong word you say and then correct, that is one less mistake you will ever make again. Every awkward sentence you push through, that is your brain rewiring itself.
So the mistakes are not the problem. Avoiding the mistakes is the problem.
That sentence should be on a wall somewhere.
I will write it down.
So, to summarize what we have covered so far, there are 4 reasons why you understand English but cannot speak it. Ready to hear them?
Ready.
1. Understanding and speaking are different skills. You trained one and not the other.
The receptive-productive gap.
2. You have been living in the comfort trap, choosing comfortable input over uncomfortable output.
Watching instead of speaking.
3. You are translating instead of thinking in English, building sentences word by word instead of retrieving chunks.
Ready-made phrases instead of raw ingredients.
4. Perfectionism is silencing you. You are waiting for the perfect sentence instead of pushing an imperfect one out.
And the imperfect one is what builds fluency.
Now, let us talk about the fix.
Everything I am about to share requires one thing from you first.
What is that?
A decision. You have to decide right now, not tomorrow, that you are going to speak English every single day. Not study it, not watch it, speak it.
Even if it is just me alone talking to myself?
Especially if it is just you alone talking to yourself. That is where we begin. Habit 1.
Okay, tell me.
Habit 1. Talk to yourself out loud in English every morning for 5 minutes.
Just talk? About what?
Anything. Describe what you see around you. Tell yourself what you are going to do today. React to something you read. Complain about the weather. It does not matter what you say. What matters is that your mouth is moving in English every single morning.
And this helps?
It activates your speaking system every day before any pressure exists, before any social anxiety, before any fear of judgment. It's like warming up your voice before singing. Your mouth, tongue, and breath need to practice the physical act of producing English sounds.
I never thought about it as physical.
Speaking is enormously physical. Fluency is partly muscle memory, and muscles need daily exercise.
Okay, 5 minutes every morning. I can do that. What is habit 2?
Habit 2, repeat out loud after every piece of English content you consume.
Repeat out loud?
Yes, when you watch a video, when you listen to a podcast, when you finish a conversation practice, take 2 or 3 sentences that you heard and say them yourself, out loud, with the same speed and rhythm as the original speaker.
Why speed and rhythm specifically?
Because fluency isn't just about knowing words. It is about producing sounds at natural speed with natural connected rhythm. Slow, careful English sounds unnatural and draws attention to the speaker. Fast, connected English sounds confident and fluent. And you can only build that rhythm by physically practicing it.
So I'm training my mouth to keep up with my brain.
Exactly. This is sometimes called shadowing, and it is one of the most powerful speaking tools that exists.
I want to try that after every video from now on. What is habit 3?
Habit 3. Learn and use 3 new English chunks every day.
Chunks, the ready-made phrases we talked about.
Yes, not vocabulary words, phrases, patterns, things that real English speakers actually say in real conversations. Let me give you some examples right now.
Yes, please.
When you are not sure about something, I'm not entirely sure, but I think. When you want time to think. That is a good question. Let me think about that for a second. When you want to express an opinion. To be honest, I feel like. When you agree. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. When you disagree politely. I see where you're coming from, but I would say. When you did not hear. Sorry, could you say that again? When you want to add something. Also, and this is important, when you want to change the topic. On a different note, when something surprised you. Honestly, I did not expect that at all. When you're explaining. What I mean is, the thing is, the way I see it.
These are so natural, so real.
Every fluent speaker uses these constantly. They are the glue between ideas. They give your brain time to think. They signal to the other person that you are engaged and confident.
And if I learn 3 of these a day?
In 1 month, you have 90 phrases. In 3 months, you have nearly 300. Your brain stops building sentences and starts retrieving them, and everything speeds up.
What is habit 4?
Habit 4. Answer questions out loud every day.
What kind of questions?
Any questions. Simple daily questions that someone might ask you. What did you do today? What do you like about your job? How was your weekend? What are your plans for the future? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
And I just answer them, by myself, out loud.
Yes, because the problem is not that you do not know the answers. The problem is that your brain is not trained to access the English and push it out fast enough. You need to practice that access repeatedly, daily.
It is like a fire drill. You practice before the real emergency so that when it happens, you do not freeze.
That is the perfect analogy, exactly like a fire drill. You are training your brain's response so that in a real conversation, the words come automatically.
I love that. What is the 5th habit?
Habit 5, and this one is the most important and the most powerful.
Tell me.
Habit 5 is speak English with another human being every single week, even once a week, even for 15 minutes.
But what if I don't know anyone who speaks English?
Language exchange apps, online conversation partners, speaking communities, evening English conversation groups, even recording a video of yourself speaking and posting it somewhere, because the act of speaking for a real imagined audience changes everything.
Why is the human element so important?
Because human conversation adds the one ingredient that all other practice lacks: unpredictability. When you practice alone, you always know what is coming. But in a real conversation, you do not know what the other person will say. You have to listen, process, and respond in real time. That real-time pressure is the exact condition your brain needs to train for.
And the more you expose yourself to that pressure,
The more normal it feels. The fear shrinks, the silence gets shorter, the responses get faster. And one day, you answer a question in English and you don't even notice that you did it.
that is the goal.
That is fluency. Now, I want to practice real scenarios where the speaking system breaks down, and we are going to talk through exactly how to handle each one.
Yes, because knowing the theory is one thing, but what do I actually do in the moment?
Situation 1. Someone asks you a question in English and your mind goes blank.
This happens to me constantly.
What do you normally do?
I panic. I say nothing, or I say for 10 seconds and then give up.
Here's what to do instead. The moment your mind goes blank, use a filler phrase immediately without hesitation.
Like what?
That is a good question. Give me 1 second. Or let me think about that for a moment. Or simply, where do I even begin?
These phrases buy me time?
They buy you time and they signal to the other person that you are engaged and thoughtful, not lost and confused. Native speakers use filler phrases constantly. It is completely normal. The silence of a blank mind is the problem. A filler phrase fills that silence instantly and gives you 3 to 5 seconds to gather your thoughts.
And 3 seconds is enough?
3 seconds is often all you need for the first words to arrive. And once the first words are out, the rest usually follows.
What about situation 2?
Situation 2. You are speaking English and suddenly you forget a word right in the middle of a sentence.
I lose the word and the whole sentence falls apart.
What do you do?
I stop. I get embarrassed. I apologize. I sometimes give up.
Here's what fluent speakers do when they lose a word. They describe it instead.
Describe it?
Yes, you do not need the exact word. You need to communicate the idea. The thing you use to, what is the word? The machine that, I cannot think of the exact word, but it is like a...
Oh, I can describe around the word.
Communication is not about finding the exact right word. Communication is about transferring an idea from your brain to another person. If you cannot find the word, describe the idea. The other person will almost always understand, and they will often give you the word.
And that is not failure. That is real conversation.
Real, natural, human conversation. Even native speakers do this.
What is situation 3?
Situation 3. You are in an English conversation and you are speaking, but everything sounds wrong, broken, not like you.
Yes, my sentences come out completely different from how they are in my head, and I sound like a different person, a much less intelligent person.
This is very common, and it happens for one reason. You are trying to translate your full, complex thought from your language into English in real time, and English cannot hold the weight of that complex thought yet.
So what do I do?
Simplify, deliberately, on purpose. Take your complex thought and strip it down to the most basic English version you can.
But then I sound simple.
You sound clear. There is a huge difference. Simple, clear English is more respected than complicated, broken English. A clean, simple sentence tells the listener, this person knows what they are saying. A broken, complicated sentence tells the listener, this person is struggling.
Simple and clear beats complex and broken.
Always start with simple. As your fluency builds, the complexity follows naturally. But if you try to run before you can walk, you fall, and falling in a conversation damages your confidence more than simple sentences ever would.
I needed to hear that. Liam, can we do a short role play? I want to actually practice these things, not just talk about them.
I was hoping you would ask that. We are going to have a real conversation. I will ask you questions. You answer in English, naturally, imperfectly, with chunks and fillers if you need them. Do not translate. Do not check every word. Just speak.
Okay, I'm going to try not to freeze.
And if you freeze, use a filler phrase. Ready?
Ready.
Tell me about yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Where do I even start? Okay, my name is Sarah. I work in a small company. I handle communications. I've been doing it for about 3 years. To be honest, I enjoy the work, but I want to grow more. I'm also learning English, as you can see.
Great. Why are you learning English?
That's a good question. I think the main reason is that English opens doors. If I speak English well, I can work with international companies. I can travel more confidently. And honestly, I want to be able to express myself fully, not just survive a conversation.
What is the biggest challenge you face when speaking English?
Let me think about that for a second. I think the biggest challenge is the gap. I understand so much more than I can say. And it is frustrating because in my language, I am confident. I have ideas. I am funny sometimes. But in English, I feel like a much simpler version of myself.
And cut. How was that?
Sarah, that was excellent.
Really? I used filler phrases 3 times.
I noticed, and they worked perfectly. Where do I even start? That is a good question. Let me think about that for a second. Every one of them sounded natural. Every one of them gave you the time you needed, and you kept going without stopping.
I did not freeze once.
Not once. And your last answer, about being a simpler version of yourself, that was genuinely beautiful and completely natural.
I just said what I actually felt.
That is it. That is the whole secret. When you stop performing and start communicating, the English comes. Let us lock everything in. The 4 reasons you understand English but cannot speak it.
1. Understanding and speaking are different skills. I only trained 1.
2.
2. The comfort trap. I kept choosing comfortable input over uncomfortable speaking.
3.
3. The translation trap. Building sentences word by word instead of using ready-made chunks.
4.
4. Perfectionism. Waiting for the perfect sentence instead of speaking an imperfect one.
And the 5 daily habits to close the gap.
1. Talk to yourself in English every morning for 5 minutes. 2. Repeat out loud after every piece of English content. 3. Learn 3 English chunks every day. 4. Answer questions out loud by yourself daily. 5. Speak with another human in English every single week.
Perfect. Now, Sarah, before we finish, I want to ask you one thing.
Go ahead.
If someone asked you right now, why can you understand English but not speak it? What would you say?
I would say, because I spent years feeding my brain English, but I never gave my mouth the same chance. I trained the receiving end perfectly, but speaking is a completely separate skill that only grows through one thing: doing it, daily, imperfectly, fearlessly.
I could not have said it better myself.
Maybe I am getting better at this.
You absolutely are, and so is every single person watching and listening right now.
Okay, what is the homework for today?
The homework is a 3-part challenge, and I want everyone to do all 3 parts before they go to sleep tonight.
Tonight, not tomorrow, tonight.
Part 1. Speak for 5 minutes out loud in English right now, after this video. Describe your day. Talk about what you just learned. It does not matter. 5 minutes, out loud.
Part 2.
Pick 3 chunks from today's lesson that you want to remember. Write them down, and then use all 3 in a sentence by the end of the day.
Part 3.
Go to the comments and write 1 sentence about yourself in English right now. Any sentence. Introduce yourself. Tell us 1 thing about your day. Respond to something from the lesson. 1 sentence is enough to begin.
Because starting is everything. Once the first sentence is out, the rest follows.
And if you are nervous about that first sentence, you do not need to be perfect. You just need to be present.
We will read every comment. We will reply. This comment section is your first real English conversation practice space. Use it.
If this lesson helped you understand something you've been wondering for a long time, please like this video, share it with one person who's stuck at the same stage, and subscribe so you never miss what comes next.
And Liam, the golden sentence for today?
The golden sentence for today is this: your English is not broken. It is just untrained on one side. Train the other side, and everything changes.
Your English is not broken. It is just untrained on one side.
Train the other side, and everything changes.
I needed that more than any grammar lesson I have ever had.
See you in the next lesson.
See you there. Keep going, keep speaking, keep showing up.